So my name is Pierce, and this is not the sing-along. I'm sorry. I know you're disappointed. Next time. What I want to talk to you about tonight, though, is being valuable rather than being invaluable. And you're thinking, what's the difference? It's like flammable versus inflammable, right? There are some differences. And I apologize for the next slide in advance. It's one that I really loathe, and I hate it when people do this, but bullet points. So to be valuable means that you're useful, that you're important. To be invaluable, you're priceless, you're irreplaceable. And say for example, in the comic book world, something that's invaluable is Action Comics #1, first appearance of Superman. If you lose this thing, you're not going to get another one. They're not anymore out there. Now, when I was a kid, one of my favorite titles was ROM, Space Knight. Yeah, it's geeky, but this is valuable to me, right? I mean, it's fun, and I love it, and it's nostalgic. But I know if I lose it, I can easily go on eBay and find another one for $3. So what does this have to do with you guys? Well, we've all been Superman, right? I mean, you've all been in the situation where you've got to come in and save the day. That if you want it done right, you've got to do it yourself. How many times have you thought that, right? Take off the shirt and fly, right? Well, Superman has kryptonite. Every one of us has weaknesses. And if we're the only one that can take care of a particular job, if we're that invaluable asset to the team, we're going to fail at some point. And that becomes a risk. And that's not just a risk to you, that's a risk to the entire team. Because no matter what the rest of the team does, if you fail, everybody on the team fails. And that's a bad risk. And what does that do to you and your psyche? It's stress. I mean, think about it. You got to go to the beach on vacation. You got to take the cell phone and the laptop, and you got to be typing away. They're going to call you in the middle of the night and say, shit, it's not working. Get back here. And eventually what that turns into is you're frozen. You can't grow. You don't get promotions. The team is locked. Now, one of my other favorite titles when I was a kid, comic book titles, was The Avengers. And the reason I loved The Avengers was they would swap out team members. So, Captain America would leave, Spider-Man would come in. And it was great. As a kid, I was like, oh, cool, Spider-Man's in it now. But as an adult, I'm looking back on it and going, well, wow, that means that Iron Man, if he needs to go off and run and do like his thing and build a new set of armor, the rest of the team is fine. Wolverine's got his back, right? They can come in, the team can still battle Dr. Doom, and they're awesome. Well, Iron Man's going off and doing his thing. And what happens? He grows. He gets better at doing what he does. He can come back to the team gets better at doing what they do. All because he knows Iron Man's got his back. Or excuse me, Wolverine. I get my superheroes mixed up. So what happens in the end is that the whole team gets better. You start out with these 5 guys, and now you've got, well, you can count them. So I want to wrap up with a case study of real life superheroes. So these two guys, and I'm a Tennessee fan, so no bias. These two guys have their own superheroes, but they've utilized them very differently, right? So let's start with, I don't know, Florida. You've got, come on, Tebow. Thank you. National champion, Heisman Trophy. But the offense was very focused on him and his abilities. Sure, he had a lot of great players around him, but it was very focused on him. So with him in the lineup, sorry, again, bullet points, 13-1. They did great, awesome statistics. This year, not so good, 5-3. Statistics really going off the deep end. Now, Bama, they have their own superhero. Again, Heisman Trophy. Again, national championship. But they utilize them very differently. It's not all about Ingram. It's about Ingram and his place in the rest of the team, right? So if you look at the rushing stats between last year and this year, and remember, Ingram was out the first 2 games. Sure, he did a workhorse last year, but this year, they're still in the national title hunt, even though he is still just that good, a superhero. Of course, all props to both of them, but neither one of them can fly. Of course, we had some news today that might have busted my last slide, but whatever. We're still looking at a potential national championship in Heisman. So, anyway, Take away, be valuable, not invaluable. Thank you.